I love that moment when you reach the sea. Whatever the weather, whether it's sunny, whether it's drizzling, that feeling of crunching and sliding down those banks of stones, looking out at the big tankers moving across the horizon. My family holidays were always to the coast, to Lyd-on-Sea near Dungeness. And we stayed in a bungalow with my grandparents and Aunt Joan. And because there was a farm to run, my parents went home every morning and every evening to feed the animals and milk the cows, about half an hour's drive each way. So I spent a lot of my time walking along the tide lines, looking for treasures, things that had been washed up from faraway places. And I was happy there, finding things that had been rounded and smoothed by the sea. There was always lots of clear plastic lighters. The colours always looked so pretty. A sparkly jelly shoe, Cinderella's blue plastic slipper, or a whelk shell, old coloured fishing line, and things you just really had no idea what they were, or pieces of wood with parts of lettering on that you'd imagine fallen off a boat somewhere, old seized up paintbrushes, putting interesting pebbles into my pocket, glistening and shining from the seawater. But as soon as they got home and dried out, they just weren't the same anymore. But they might be good for gluing some googly eyes to at a later point. And there was 2 lighthouses up at Dungeness. There was the old lighthouse and the new lighthouse. I remember walking up all those steps to the top of the old lighthouse, looking out across all those pylons of Dungeness, all those pebbles, all those fishing huts and ramshackle houses. And once the tide had gone out so far and I decided to walk out across that strange netherworld between the land and the sea. But I could hear that hush of the waves in the distance, and I found myself walking and walking and walking so far, till eventually I reached the sea, turned back, and walked for what seemed even further to get back somehow. Why would it be further to get back? But it turned out I started walking at a rather obtuse angle and found myself miles along the coast road, and eventually I was discovered and brought back. One day we went night fishing at Dungeness and I caught an eel. That snake-like beast spiralling its way up the beach was absolutely terrifying. The other terrifying thing was our neighbour, and I believe she worked night, so she wasn't that impressed when myself and my brother were playing football out on the front drive early in the morning. And the bungalow we stayed in, it backed onto a small steam railway, the Romney, Hythe and Dymchurch Railway. The smell of the steam train chuffing along all the weather-beaten back fences of the bungalows, and that sound of the whistle always brought us out to wave at the people in the carriages passing by. Holidays are always exciting because we got those small cereal boxes, the Kellogg's variety pack. You got to choose a different cereal every day, and lollies always had jokes on. I don't know why they don't do those anymore. So I don't think I will ever lose that excitement of reaching the sea.